So I've been living here for 9 years now. I moved here in 2013 to go to school. I actually had no intentions of staying here. I was living in London and going to school there as well, and I was subletting my place. And then after being here for a few months and noticing the community here, the strength in the community here, and uh, I wanted to be a part of that. So I stayed. Like within, I wasn't even finished my program yet, and had already decided that I wanted to stay in Kitchener-Waterloo for a bit and work and make a name for myself. And there was just so much work to do. And part of that, with the work that I've been doing here for the last 9 years, has been accessing the space, the terminal. I have been through here on a daily basis, going to work, going to school, meeting up with friends, and it became just a regular hangout space for me. It was like a place of connection, talking to random strangers, just meeting folks, hanging out in the restaurant, just grabbing fries. Like it was just a really cool hangout spot, and I was always just talking to random people. So it kind of felt like a home. Like it was just like somewhere where I knew I was going to be at some point in my day, which was really cool. And so you kind of begin to like build a connection to the place because you're always there all the time. And then part of that was also catching the Greyhound when the Greyhound was here as well too. My family lives in Sarnia, and then I have friends in London, and a lot of my friends live in Toronto as well too. So I was always catching the bus somewhere. I was always going out of town, and I was always standing in line back there in all types of weather, catching the bus. So for me, it was like this place of like connection, to go home, to see my family, to go visit friends, to be around people that I care about, right? So for me, it was like a lot of memories, good memories of being here. So when the place closed down and I heard the news that they were shutting down the terminal, for me it was actually sad. Like it was sad because it was such a great hangout space for me for so many years. And then I know a lot of other people have the same question of like, what do we do now? Like where do we go to now for that connection, right? And all of a sudden you're like, something that you had is no longer there. So it was pretty sad, and in all honesty, I do miss the place. Like I do coming here every day and just seeing people and sitting on a random bench waiting for the bus and just talking to a senior or talking to a parent with their kid, like just those small chit chat that you have every day, and people passing by. It was really cool. It's definitely something I'm gonna miss. But then that translating into the work that I've been doing with the community and finding those reconnections, creating those spaces for the community to come together with the work that we've been doing, whether that be setting up a teepee in the middle of the park, or hosting a rally in front of City Hall, like creating space for a community to come together, which is so important. So important, right? And I'm hoping that moving forward, that this space continues to be a space for Kitchener-Waterloo, for the community to come together. I would love for it to, my vision, to be honest, is to see it become a building for the Black, Indigenous, racialized grassroots community to come together, to have our own office space, to have our own gathering space, which is so needed. We need more gathering spaces in downtown Kitchener. Like right now, we're in the middle of a boom with so many condos going up in every corner, and now there's that fear of like, where do we get together, right? Like, do we just go sit at a coffee shop? And there's only a handful of coffee shops in downtown Kitchener, right? And the population is growing and rent is increasing, right? So where do we as a community come together? So I would really hope that this space remain a place for the community, and that's my hopes.